Hello and welcome to Star Wars Geek Girl. I'm Zoe and I'm here with Lizzie.
Hello.
And we are going to be talking about the Badbatch, episode 5, The Return. So I'm going to do a little intro video because my dad said it's easier if I do it in this, even though we're not posting video. So let me find it because
Gotta make sure.
I think I should
make it easy for him.
Right. Okay. I think I would have prepared this in advance, but oh well.
Yeah.
Star Wars Geek Girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes cry.
Yay.
Yay.
So yes, Badbatch time. Spoiler free, what did you think about this episode?
Spoiler free. My dad hyped it up a little too much. Okay, I loved it. It was a good Badbatch episode. But my dad needs to calm down. Chill out a little. Because again, I thought... This is spoiler free. I thought the return was insinuating a return of a person, technically it was, but like a different person. I was expecting a different person from how excited my dad seemed. So, it wasn't, and I was like, dang. See, that's why I always, whenever I watch something Star Wars, I delete any expectations I have, because otherwise I'm going to be sad. But that goes for anything in life.
Mm-hmm.
But specifically Star Wars as well. Because I don't want to be sad at Star Wars.
See, maybe this is part of his master plan, right? So when it actually is Asajj, and he texts you, you're gonna be like, oh, he's yapping again.
He's yapping. Yap.
Yap. Like us starting a podcast an hour after we said we were going to because we were yapping.
I don't know what you're talking about. They don't know that.
They don't need to know
Even
that.
though we scheduled for 5 minutes earlier, now it's 6. Silly.
It's fine. Well, my spoiler-free thoughts. Because I did not have someone hyping it up and thinking it was going to be Asajj, I was over the moon with this episode.
Nice.
I really just adored the character work. I thought it was so necessary. I know this isn't a spoiler. I know I said last week I was like, I really hope they like Last Jedi this thing and pick up right where we left off. But the way they handled it, I'm happy with it, and I really love how it's handled. I think characters and relationships are good, but I'm also, I think I said this last week too, I'm also like really scared. Like it's all going really well.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not gonna last, and I'm really scared, and I don't know what's gonna happen. And Jennifer Corbett, please spare me, please. Please be nice. I'm scared, but episode itself, incredible, like top tier, just amazing, everything I wanted for these dynamics at this point, so good.
Yes. Spoilers.
Echo's back. I missed him.
Omega sweater.
Oh my gosh, I thought of you in the sweater. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna go crazy. It's an adorable little sweater vest thing. We love outfit changes. Not for Crosshair. Crosshair is fine.
Yeah, it was mid.
Crosshair's like, he's like, you know, when people are like, they have like one pair of shoes, and they're like, what do you mean? I got shoes. I don't need more shoes. I just wear these everywhere, every occasion. Like, that's Crosshair. He's like, why do I need more clothes? Like, well, like, you know, I feel like we're like, oh, Crosshair, like, here's our like fun island clothes that you can wear this a lot more comfortable. Like, I have clothes. Why are you trying to give me clothes? Like,
true.
That's Crosshair.
Yeah. No, for me it was because I was at college and they were like, "That the only shoes you have?" And I was like, "Yes."
All right. Well, at college it's different because you're like moving things. I just mean like, you know, you got one pair of shoes. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I also had only one pair of shoes for Mr. College. That's different. I mean, like real life.
True. Real life, not college.
Not
College.
college. Not real life. That's a bubble. Just
Yeah.
kidding. Sort of.
Well, it's a rough bubble.
It depends. I like my bubble. I had a good time in my bubble.
My bubble was it it was like, yeah, we're teaching you, but also like work for us, like, because you're working in the kitchens now. Make products for us, please. So, like, I loved it. I learned a lot, but I was not prepared for how much what's it called, exploitation there was going to be.
Hey, I had to deal with that. In my bubble, we actually intersected for a good while with the COVID bubble. That was fun. Lots of bubbles. Lots of bubbles.
See.
um,
Anyway. Yeah, but he did get like his old clothes back. But
yeah.
I'm hoping that
Well,
he
he
like
has armor.
changes it up, or like Omega is like, hey, that's boring. Let me help you, and then like change it up, and I think that'd be cute. Because it's kind of like, I feel like it's supposed to like, I'm sure you're gonna explain this, but like it's supposed to symbolize something about like going back, to his old ways and going back to his old self. But I think because everyone else has moved on and has like, well, technically, new armor, I'm hoping that Omega like goes and is like, hey, you want a new paint job? I just learned how to draw this sick cat. You want Batcher on your armor?
They like they go to Mandalore and there's like this little
Yeah.
toddler who like just paints on it all while he leaves it somewhere. What the heck?
Yes,
That's what happens.
of course.
That's what happens.
He has to he has to wear it. It's like Sharpie, it doesn't come out.
To be fair though, I would also like, I don't know, I would love to see Crosshair with like armor more similar to what we see the Batch wearing now and in season 2. But to be fair, I don't know how much of that was like, we're gonna get a fresh new look, and more of like, oh, our stuff's breaking.
Yeah.
We're getting new stuff where we can find it. Like, that's always the vibe I got. And it worked very well. They looked great.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we're gonna, in one season, I don't know if we're gonna see Crosshair break enough stuff. I mean, maybe, Jennifer Corbett, please be kind. But who knows?
Yeah. But I wasn't sad about it. I was really hoping for it to end up like right where it was from the last episode. But I just thought it was funny because it like, first of all, I was getting really mad because Disney Plus was not working and my internet does not reach my TV because it's in the gaming room for good reasons, but the TV is very far away. So I was getting really frustrated because I was like, first of all, the episode, besides like after Pabu, is just dark. Couldn't see nothing. It's so bright outside. Please, please, Disney. I just need it bright. I just need a bright episode. But anyway, what was it? Crosshair? What was I talking about? Oh, it opens up and it's like her Omega sleeping and she's waking up. Which very cute outfit, very very cute.
And she has Lula, like the OG Lula.
Yeah, and there's like kind of the tension there, so you can tell that they probably just were like, all right, let's go, I guess.
Yeah.
And they definitely didn't talk about it much, but I think also because of Omega, Wrecker was like, you know what? Hey, she trusts him. He seems okay. He seems normal. Might as well like be okay. But Hunter is very on the skeptical side.
Yeah, well, and I think it's also like the differing reactions between Hunter and Wrecker. I think it really shows to me how differently they reacted to Tech's death. Right, for Wrecker, does he fully trust Crosshair yet? Maybe not, but he is so ready to have his brother back and have his family back together as much as he can after that loss, that he is a bit more all in and like, yeah, okay, Crosshair did some bad stuff, but like, family's back, brother's back, and that's what he's thinking about. Where for Hunter, he feels very responsible for what happened to Tech, I think. And so for him, it's like, you know, part of that is like, can he blame Crosshair a little bit, like part of him, but then also it's like that anger with himself from what happened to Tech is like bleeding onto Crosshair.
Yeah,
Is
I
like a
didn't.
good Crosshair is like a good scapegoat for that. Even
Yeah,
if
I
it's
didn't.
not directly.
Oh,
Sorry,
sorry.
I'm saying even if he's not, even if Hunter doesn't directly blame Crosshair for Tech's death, like I think that anger is like bleeding into that. That's what I meant. I don't.
No, yeah, of course. I didn't even think like towards the end. Jumping as usual, but when Crosshair and Hunter finally kind of like fight, or like argue, I didn't like it. It didn't even cross my mind the thought of like what what Crosshair was saying, like where he was like, yeah, like seems like you're upset that I helped her and you weren't there for her, and like it's your fault that this happened and this happened. Like that wasn't even a thought in my mind that that was a thing, and it kind of makes sense, but also I think it was definitely the guilt of Tech as well. I think it was just multiple things,
Mm-hmm.
like, and then all of a sudden he's back and they haven't like talked about it as a group, or they haven't had that talk, and now they finally are. um Especially now that they're trusting, well, not trusting him, but they're trusting him with this mission, and there's like a few things already kind of going wrong. He's just kind of looking for that fight.
Mm-hmm.
um Especially like all the little arguments that they were having. Like, I mean, Crosshair, yes, is in the wrong, but why Hunter gotta be a little jerk? Like he was just like jabbing at this man, and I was starting to get mad. I was like, Hunter, you're in the right, but you're making us look bad. Stop it.
Oh god, yeah, and I think like sort of related to what you said, like when you said like they haven't had this conversation, and I think that's why I was so okay with them not including that first interaction. Like, would that have been awesome to see, of course, but like it letting the tension build up, I think made for a much better conversation, and like if you only have so much screen real estate in these shows, like they only have so much time to use, and I'm glad that they allotted their time for this because I think it
Yeah.
worked very well. And yeah, it was that Crosshair Hunter interaction when Crosshair was like blaming him too. That was also very like, to me that was I think there was some truth to it, but I think it was also mostly Crosshair being so mad because like he said Hunter was jabbing at him and being very petty because Hunter was mad. Like there's some truth to it. There's also Crosshair trying to figure out what the most hurtful thing he could say was.
Yeah.
And that was like, because that's, I mean, we know Crosshair. We saw from the very beginning of the Badbatch and the Clone Wars. Crosshair picks fights sometimes.
Sometimes.
I really liked Echo, like being like, "Oh, there's not even blood anytime." Like Echo wasn't even with the Badbatch that long compared to the other ones, and he
Yeah.
is like, "Oh yeah, Hunter and Crosshair." Like I've seen them fight. They do this. It's just this episode was so like brotherly, like so siblings, and it was so good.
Yeah, that was funny. So they have the sensors around the entire station, and first of all, I was like sad because I was like, oh, this is the place where he shot the officer. They don't know that, and like this is where he had his clone buddy, and he's dead, and they're all dead, and this is sad. I was sad, but like the little sensor thing. And Batch is barking at it, and then they go inside, and they're like, "Oh, it's probably to keep raiders out." Which, like, I don't get that, but sure.
I mean, there were raiders.
There were raiders, but I don't get how a frequency is gonna
Well, I think
stop
that's
these.
to detect them, right? I think that was what they thought.
Maybe because it was like transmitting like a high frequency or something. I don't know. Maybe it was.
Well, because they called it sensors, right? So like a sensor, maybe it also like detects it too.
That makes sense.
Oh,
Yeah, but I was just like, but then there's that giant worm.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, they like, because they turn off the sensors because they have, what's her name? Emily? But it's like different. Emery. Sorry. And they have her iPad, and then they like, they are transmitting everything in, So they put all the power into this place to get the tablet going, but then the sensors are down, and then this giant worm comes up. And I just thought it was so funny that once they turn on the sensors, it just stared at that little thing. It was just so sad. The poor worm was so sad, mad dogging this little sensor. And it felt like I don't. This is so specific that only you and very few listeners will understand. But it felt like I was like a Moira, and I couldn't reach like Ilari's Python. Like I just can't reach it.
Oh my
But
gosh.
yeah, I was frustrated for that giant worm.
Oh, and you might be one of the only people team Giant Worm, I have to say.
He's just doing his thing.
Yeah, I guess, just vibing. But yeah, I mean, I also think bringing it back to the outpost. I don't know what this planet's called, but the episode where the outpost episode last season took place, was like such a brilliant move. Like, because the return of the Ice Vulture imagery compared to Crosshair and the Ice Vulture flying away at the end was. I think the Outpost personally was one of, if not the best episodes of the last season. So getting to revisit it in this way was amazing.
Yeah.
And like I love that very small moment of Crosshair like putting Mayday in the others' helmets like up and not just like on the pile on the floor that they were in. And it was like a very small moment, but it showed so much of who Crosshair's become since that was early episodes of the Bad Batch, and just the Ice Vulture flying away, showing he's doesn't have to just survive anymore, like the Vulture. So good. Just everything.
Yeah. But yeah, which is why I thought like after they calmed down and after they finished that mission, I thought it was really nice that like, they did kind of have that conversation, but because Crosshair was kind of just so ashamed of it, that he couldn't even look at Hunter. He was just kind of looking off to the side. But just talking about like I made bad mistakes. I like did bad things. I regret so many things I did. Like I just didn't understand. And I like that Hunter was finally not jerky enough and it was like none of us understood what was going on at the time. Which like honestly, yeah, no one it was a little crazy. If you never watched Star Wars and you only watched that was a little weird. Like obviously us we understand. But like, it's still weird. And if you chose certain sides, you were wrong for either reason. So it didn't really matter. So I like that Hunter was finally kind of like calm enough to be like, you know what? We regret so many things that we did, but we're just gonna learn from it and move on and just keep living. Which I have so many regrets, and not even because they're like bad regrets or like I just like it could be a conversation I had and I still thinking about it a week later and I'm like why? So moving on is a big thing that I'm like pretty fond of because I'm like I need to learn how to I need to go there. I need to go to there. So I like the moving on portion, especially because of the redemption part. Like he's not forgiven, but he is kind of just like we'll figure it out together, kind of. We'll figure it out together later.
Yeah, well, and I think ending the episode with Hunter, being like, look, there could be, hope for us yet. There could be a better future in store for us yet, and that, that beautiful warm sunlight, the sunset at the end was
Finally, some light.
was so beautiful, and it's like, hey, we can we can end it here, right? Happy ending, you know? Like, we'll have other stuff, but, you know, with Asajj, we'll see all that, but, like, they're good here, right? Like, this is good.
Yeah.
This is great. This is great. We don't need to keep having terrible things happen to them. It's fine. We got it. Good ending, guys.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Finally. Yeah, there was. Yeah, I liked that a lot. Just how that, especially just how that scene looked, where it took place for us who watched him go through all that, like you said, and it was perfect,
Yes.
perfect.
I also really appreciated Wrecker doing the little group hug with Crosshair and Hunter. It was so cute.
Why was he good at digging? Why? A Wrecker.
What? You mean digging in the snow?
Yes.
I mean, he's a muscular, buff guy. He's, you know, he pick up a lot of snow at once.
But it was off-putting. I was just thinking about it because like him and Hunter are like trying to dig, and then you know Batcher goes in and they're like, oh, let him do it. But then then he's like by himself to go get the thing, and he's just like digging on all fours.
He learned from Batcher.
Yeah.
He took some lessons.
Yeah. If that was a Silent Hill game, it would make me take the Wii Remote and the nunchuck and go ham on actually trying to dig for this thing.
Yeah. There should be a Badbatch video game. It'd be so fun. You like, you know, it could be multiplayer. Everyone picks a little guy. Just do your little thing.
Be like Overwatch. See who's the best Badbatch.
I feel like I don't know. None of them are Tracer.
No.
I mean, Crosshair's Widow.
You could say Omega's Tracer.
But
like she's just
Omega,
her bubbly,
I'm thinking
positive attitude.
Right, I'm thinking like play style. Like none of them teleport. So unfortunately, my skills as a Tracer main are not applicable. Like Crosshair's definitely Widow.
Yes.
Tech is Sombra. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Perfect.
Hunter
could be like, I don't want to say 76. Like kinda. But like that's kind of
he's just like tracking skills don't really translate well to like a hero shooter style game. So like I don't know. Also, I guess they're all. I mean, Echo could be like a support. I don't know which one. He could be like a Baptiste.
Yeah.
Got some combat, got some support abilities. Yeah, Tech is definitely Sombra. Wrecker's a tank. He's Melga. He's Melga.
Omega could be Lucio.
Lucio? Yeah.
Lucio.
Or Omega could be like Hanzo. Got the bow and arrow.
Oh, true.
Can
she climb?
Can she climb? I mean, probably.
She can climb, yeah.
Probably. Can she summon a spirit dragon? We haven't gotten that part in the show yet.
Yeah.
So we're not,
but like maybe.
Jury's out on that. Maybe. Don't know yet. Yeah. I don't know Hunter is. I guess he's kind of a soldier. It seems like a little lame, but he could be like he could be a Cassidy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely not Junkrat.
Nah.
Or Genji. Hemlock is just Moira.
Oh, for sure.
I feel like, what's her name? Is it Nalase, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Symmetra. It's giving Symmetra.
I see it. I don't know about Symmetra specifically, but the Kaminoans definitely have some Vishkar stuff going on.
Yes.
so silly. I'm trying. There's something to say about the episode because I don't know how many of our listeners play Overwatch. They totally should. I just got.
Yes.
Oh, he's over there. I just got the new collection of Overwatch short stories, and I'm really excited to read them.
Ooh, nice.
I know there's like a Sombra one everyone's saying is really good. There's like
Ooh.
a bunch. I'm so excited.
My friend got Frogger plushie, like the streamer, and I just think it's funny because the only reason he got it was because Frogger made a TikTok and it was like, yeah, I made this plushie, and like it's really cute, but I'm scared for this plushie because all of the comments that I get that are like, I can't wait for my new Frogger plushie. I'm going to drown him in milk. I'm gonna blow him up. I'm gonna throw him in the Red Sea. And then I'm like, so the only reason why he got him was so he could torture this poor Frogger plushie.
Aww.
But then he got me one, so I'm just gonna take care of him.
You have to, yeah, you should like take extra care of it to like counterbalance the like torture.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do a side by side of the aftermath. But anyway, so yeah, I was gonna say something. Something about Crosshair.
Oh, I really like the Omega and Crosshair conversation where she's like, technically I'm older than you, little brother.
Oh my god.
Very cute.
My dad
so
was
cute.
screaming in his chair. I was betting you.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was like, he said that, and I was like, oh my god, my dad is gonna be screaming that all freaking podcast next. Oh my goodness.
And then you have to be like, look, she said technically, and it was clearly framed as like, isn't that silly? Like, technically, and like their actual relationship, different.
Yeah, I had a friend over when I was watching it, and so and I was like, hey, I'm sorry, but I need to watch this to podcast. And he was like, okay. And I was like, I'm so sorry. You haven't watched this. It's gonna be so out of context. Like, I'm so sorry. And he was like, no, it's fine. Play it. I'll watch it. And I was like, okay. And then she said that, and he was like, what? like sat up and was like, what? And I was like, oh my god. And I had to explain it, and I was like, so basically, and I just went into detail. But yeah, my dad was definitely excited.
So. I'm sure. Sorry.
I'll hear all about it. And then everyone will hear all about it.
Yes, but outside of that, it was also just a very cute little conversation, and it was really interesting because Omega kept trying to play mediator and like trying to kind of fix it for them, and Echo was the one that was like, look, like that's a great goal, but you know, you just kind of have to let them work it out on themselves. Like sometimes, you know, people need to, you know, do things on their own time. And I think that was a good lesson for her to learn, because she is so mature and wise and stuff. But, you know, sometimes, you know, you can try to help too much. And, you know, sometimes you do just kind of need to let it flow naturally instead of trying to speed it up. And I think that was just a really interesting little part of this episode also.
Yeah. That reminded me of, you need to watch Steven Universe, but it reminded me of Steven Universe because there's this kid is in everyone's business. He knows everything, because he's the main character. And so he helps people, that's his whole thing is, he's constantly trying to help people. And as he grows up, less and less people need help because they're helping themselves, or, they're growing maturely as well, stuff like that. So there's a couple, and, well, they were a couple, they're no longer a couple, but, you know, he's trying to get them back together because he thinks that they're sad and that's why they're separated. And so he's constantly like trying to get them to go on dates together. He's like trying to get them to talk to each other. He's like, "Oh, you should ask her out again," blah blah blah. And he gets into everyone's business, and then it like goes super south because they're like, "Hey, no, 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 like we're okay, separated. I have a new partner. He wants to explore space." It was a whole thing. Um, like we don't need this anymore. It's okay. And he like has to learn to like butt out of some of people's lives and conversations and their own problems. So it hit. But yeah, you need to watch Steven Universe. I know you have a lot to watch, but that is on the list, please.
Is it? What's it on? If it's not easily accessible, it gets bumped down the list. That's how this works.
Actually, I'm not sure. It's a Cartoon Network show. I know, like some of the movies.
Maybe on HBO.
Maybe,
That's where
but
I
I know
saw that,
some
or
of the
Netflix.
movies and stuff are on Amazon Prime.
I'm googling.
So yeah, but it's really good and it's very cute.
I've heard a lot of good things. I think Sappy watched it.
Probably.
Where to watch? Hulu and Max. Okay. Cartoon Network free. Is there a Cartoon Network streaming service? I'm confused.
I have no idea.
Oh, it's like certain episodes are available on their website, I guess, but not all of them.
No.
Well, that's cool that they have that, though.
See. But yeah, there's a
There's
lot of
there's a
lessons
bunch
that
of Steven Universe because the park I work at's connected to the Cartoon Network hotel, and they have a bunch of Steven Universe stuff there.
That's
I
cool.
don't work in the hotel, but yeah.
I've seen it a couple times, and I've been like, I should go, and then I'm like,
I think
California.
Sappy worked there one day when she used to do retail. She worked there one day because she needed help, and then she like worked there, then came home. She's like, I'm gonna go to Cartoon Network Hotel on my day off, and came back with like I think she got like a Powerpuff Girl plushie or something like that.
Nice. Yeah, I think
like years ago.
I don't watch a lot of Cartoon Network things. I just because Axel started watching it first, but then Axel did the Axel thing where he plays.
Oh, he just picks a random
12.
episode and then turns it on. He's like, "You should watch this show," and picks a random episode. And I was like, "I don't know what's going on."
Yes,
That
so
was
I was
Gravity
like,
Falls,
I don't
think
get
that
it. Yeah,
for me.
and
Like,
JoJo.
I think we were showing. Yeah, I feel like JoJo I wouldn't really get no matter what. Like,
No one
like,
gets JoJo.
Gravity Falls, I was like heard a lot about it, and I was like, oh yeah, like that show. And he's like, yeah, you should watch it. And he turned on like a random episode in the middle of like season 2, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
No.
I don't know who these people are. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, I'm here for it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I was just curious. And then I went by myself and I watched it, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like, this is cool. And then I watched like they have a new a different show, and it's Steven Universe Future, where he's like mostly grown up, and he's dealing with all these traumas from the first show. And I was like, why am I crying every freaking episode? Why? And then there's the movie. The movie is before Steven Universe Future, the show, though. I think that's it. It's not that complicated. But anyway, should watch it. People should watch it. Yes.
Oh my gosh! Today, speaking of cartoons making us cry, I'm like slowly catching up on Young Jedi Adventures. Like I'll watch an episode or two, and I watched the one today with Loden Greatstorm with Bell Zettifar, and like you tell me why, I just started bawling. I was like, oh my god! Spoilers for my Republic. Oh my god, he's dead, and they're so happy, and they're so cute here, but he like dies horrifically after being tortured for months. But like they're so happy here. I was like crying and crying.
Oh.
Freddy's staring at me like, "Girl, what is your problem?"
He just needs to read.
I was like, "Yeah, no, Freddy needs to read, bro. Freddy does not. Freddy does not even know." But I was like, "Yeah." It's like, "Oh, cute little young Jedi show. Put it on while I eat lunch." And I was like, "Oh my god, Bell is loaded. The Bell's happy, and he didn't shave his head yet. Oh my gosh." True story.
My dad loves that show. I just can't.
It's so cute. Oh,
Like I could get into it, but I don't know. I can't do it unless I'm watching it with my family.
I like. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Like I was like crying at that episode today. But like almost every episode like makes me tear up. And it's like, I don't even know why I'm crying. It's just like, they're like, it's a kid's show, so they're like stating the little moral for the kids. And I'm like tearing up, like, you're so right. We do need to be kind to each other.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what this is about me, but that's out there now.
No, that's fair. No, my dad also, he's not like Axel where he picks a random one, but sometimes he'll just be like, "Are you gonna watch it?" And I was like, "Only if you guys put it on." And he's like, "Okay, well, there's one that I think you'll like specifically." So he'll like give us the episodes that he thinks we will like. And he's usually
to be
right.
fair,
like,
it's like, it's not like a, I don't want to say there isn't a developing storyline, but there isn't a developing storyline.
Yeah.
Good show.
But there was one, and it was a cook, and like I think he's like missing like eggs, but the eggs hatched, and so then he's like, oh, these pests, and then he's like, oh, I should be kinder to animals, and I was like, damn, all right, that's what we're going for right now.
Vegan propaganda in Star Wars. Don't tell the YouTubers.
How dare they?
They're gonna like, oh my gosh, the thumbnail is like a picture of like Liz, but she like her face is like photoshopped into a crazy frown, and it's like it's like in big text. Hold on, I'm thinking. I have to think like a racist YouTuber. Hold on. So it's like
okay.
we gotta like get into this, and then there's like, I don't know. I don't know what the text is, but it's like a picture of like a chicken nugget. It's like a cross out through it, and it's like Star Wars hates something. And there's a picture of Kathleen Kennedy, of course.
Yes. Star Wars hates our God-given meat-eating rights.
Star Wars doesn't want you to eat what you want. And it's Kathleen Kennedy's fault.
Wants us to spare everything.
Woke feminist propaganda.
There's just like air horns everywhere.
Red circles on like random things. Oh my gosh.
Perfect. Vegan teachers in the background.
This is not a podcast episode about the Young Jedi Adventures, but I love that show. It's obviously not for my age group, but I really enjoy it and the characters. But it's also like, I just think of like the kids, like my little cousin's really into it. And I just think of like all the kids growing up, like for like, this is their Clone Wars, but it's for even younger kids, like really, really made for them. And it's, like it's gonna be like, I'm honestly in a way, I'm like already thinking like, 10, 15 years from now, are we gonna get new stories about Kai, Lise, and Nubs as adults and like what they're doing? Because it's like those kids grew up and those characters could grow up with them, and it's like it's just so cool that kids have that. I know I would have adored this show as a kid. Like I would have been so like purple lightsaber, like painting my face blue, like trying to be Lisa. I know that for a fact. Like I would have had stuffed animals, and they would have been the little creatures that she has, and like it's just amazing that like we can get Andor and Young Jedi Adventures in the same year. Like it's just like for everyone, and it's just amazing to have a show like that for kids. I'm like getting emotional thinking about it. It's so cute. Oh, everyone watch Young Jedi Adventures.
Yeah, this is so different, but because you already explained it in Star Wars form, it like for me it was Splatoon because it's stupid, but like so Splatoon came out and it was like they're called Squid Kids and they're kids but they're squids, and I didn't realize, but it was for my specific age group, and I didn't know that. I was a kid in middle school that was playing Splatoon, a silly squid shooting ink game, and then they had the second one, and I didn't know, they didn't announce it or anything, but they were a little older. And then they came out with the third one, which was like what, a year or two ago, maybe, I don't know, somewhere around there. And they announced, they're like, hey, you remember your squid kid? They're the same exact age as you now. They're in college. And I was like, what? And my little squid kid is in college.
That's so cute.
Yeah, so I was just like, oh, middle school. Yeah.
I was Rebels Remember Day this past week. I texted someone about it, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, like, can you believe like Rebels was 10 years ago?" And I was like, "Oh my god, like, yeah, I was in middle school."
Yeah.
And like,
Oh my
what?
gosh.
Craziness, crazy times.
Someone at work asked me what I was doing during 9/11. I was like, "What do you mean?"
I
was not even in the womb yet.
I was in the womb.
Nice.
I came out 8 days later. Fun fact about me.
Fun. So fun.
Fun fact. Another fun fact about me related to 9/11. Actually, this past 9/11, I got hit by a semi truck while I was driving.
Oh.
That was cool. First accident ever.
Ooh.
So yeah,
Are
first
you
car
okay?
accident, and it wasn't my fault. Yeah, it only hit me like a little bit. We were only going like 25 miles an hour.
A little bit.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Oh.
Fun Zoe fact. I got hit by a semi truck.
Nice.
It was crazy. He like so like. All right, I gotta like explain this now. The Zoe lore is so important.
Yes.
So it's a 2-lane road through a city. And so he was in the left lane, and I was in the right lane. And ahead in the city, there was some construction, so the left lane was closed. It's like everyone had to get in the right lane. And so the truck driver, we were at a light, and the light went green, so we were going. And the truck driver decided to go over into the right lane to not run into the construction, and didn't see little old me and my little bug, and hit like the back left of my car and like literally pushed me fully onto the sidewalk in front of this building. And it was like really, because he was like in my like blind spot ish, so I didn't even realize I was getting hit. I was just like, all of a sudden, I was like, oh my god, I'm veering toward this building and my brakes aren't working. I was like freaking out. I was like I again did not realize I was being hit. I just thought my car was doing what I didn't want it to do. I was like, what is happening? Oh my gosh. And I realized I was getting hit, and after that like initial like adrenaline wore off, I was like, this is so funny. Like,
okay.
I made like my be real that day was crazy. I was like, oh my god, getting hit by a semi-core. Yeah, and then we ended up waiting. Okay, Pennsylvania. Fun fact: gerrymandered like crazy. So we were in Lancaster City, but the area we were in was part of the Manheim Township police districts. Like, we weren't in Lancaster City cop jurisdiction. It was like, ugh. So like he like called the cops, we're like calling our insurance, like doing all that, and we like first cop shows up, and he was like, and he comes over and he's like, hey, I can't help you, but I'm just gonna wait here until the Manheim cop comes because this is not my jurisdiction. We're like, okay, and he waited like 10 minutes and just like was like, okay, bye, he'll be here soon. We're like, okay. And then the Manheim cop didn't show up for like 45 minutes. It was crazy. I was there for so long, just on the side of the road, just like standing there with my little like smashed up car. What was it? Okay. Smashed up is very over dramatic. I had like mostly just superficial damage in the back. But yeah. So it was like crazy. And the cop comes and he's like, yeah, it wasn't your fault at all. Like, wrote that in the police report. So his insurance paid for it.
Cool. Nice.
But yeah, that was a fun day. I like texted my mom. My parents were at work, so they couldn't answer the phone. But like texted both my parents, and I was like, "Hey, I'm okay. I'm not in the hospital, but I did get hit by a semi truck." Yeah, crazy Zoe lore that day.
Crazy silly.
I have the police report somewhere.
I wouldn't even know how to say that to my family.
Yeah, well,
even if I was like, I'm not in the hospital, but I got hit, they'd be like, "Are you in the hospital?"
Yeah, well, I think my mom still was like, "Oh my god, I was so worried." I was like, "I told you, I wasn't in the hospital."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it was just like really, it's just crazy. Because honestly, I was like pretty chill about it because I was like, okay, I know this wasn't my fault. I'm not like, my insurance isn't gonna get dinged. I'm the one who's gonna pay for it. So like, it's funny. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. Fair.
But it was like that initial like, oh my god, what's happening? Was crazy. So yeah, cool car accident story.
I was like, I do driving lessons now, so that's cool.
Fun.
I actually know how to drive a car. I'm just too anxious to actually get in the driver's seat. Especially because all I have is Chris's car, and I don't want to damage Chris's car.
Makes sense.
But I was in my mom's car a little bit, and I was driving around the neighborhood with her. That was kind of fun. But
fun.
so I was at a lesson. This was like my fourth lesson. And I was going, and then she was like, okay, like every time like I take a turn, like she's like, okay, is it okay to go? Which honestly is, you'd think would get annoying and like a little like condescending, but for me I was like, oh yes, I must ask the question, am I okay to go? And you know, I do a whole look, move my head 360, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm okay. And she was like, okay, yeah, you're good to go. And like I was making a right turn, and she has the brake on her side. Thank God, AAA. Thank you. But and then she like broke so hard because this freaking car came out of nowhere and just like cut in front of me so fast. I like barely processed it, and I was like, oh. And she was like, I am so sorry. That was not your fault. That was him. You're fine. This won't affect your grade. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, people
cool.
are crazy.
Yeah, so that was fun. But
I get around here. This is not. We talk about Young Jedi Adventures. We talk about my car accident. Fun stuff. Yeah, so far my only car accident. Knock on. I think this is wood.
This is IKEA wood.
Yeah, is IKEA wood real wood? This is IKEA wood. I don't know.
Should
I
be
think
fine.
it's IKEA. I don't know. Yeah, that was a fun day for Zoe. True factors.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it took like that happened on 9/11, and then I didn't get my car, like, because I had to drive it around, bust it up for a little while. And then I like finally got it into the shop, and the shop had it for like a month. And then I like, so I didn't get my car back to like November, like in working condition. It was crazy.
Scary.
Yeah. Also,
this was your
first
bug
cop.
too?
Yeah, my little white bug. But yeah, related to that, first cop, so cringe. Okay, he comes over and he's like, "What happened?" And I was like, "Oh, like he merged and maybe blah, blah, blah. Explain what happened." And he goes, "Big truck, little car. Yeah, I see it." It's like, "Oh, good line, tough guy. Like, wow, we need to get you on the TV, man." It was like, yeah, cringe moment.
Yeah.
That was just like, yeah. But the second guy was really nice. The Mannheim guy. He was like,
that's good.
He told me it wasn't my fault, so like him.
I can't
guy.
with
it was just very like trying to be like an action movie thing, and I was like, just okay, relax. Like I got
see a lot of action.
I got hit in the city going less than 25 miles an hour. Like,
it's not that
relax.
Yeah.
I like really remember that for some reason. I was like, this is so funny. It's a good anecdote.
Oh my gosh. No, I always make fun of it's not just older people that are cringe. It's also younger people, of course.
Everyone's cringe. And you know what? But sometimes to be cringe is to be free. And sometimes stop.
Yes. Yes. That last part. Like, okay.
It depends.
Cringe is okay. But sometimes if you're cringe and you're for real and you're looking at me in the eyeballs and you're saying something and I'm like, why would you?
And like, look, there's like two different cringe, right? There's like, because sometimes people are like, oh, that person likes Disney, cringe. It's like, someone just liking something and being passionate about something is not cringe. But when you're just like being like a little obnoxious, cringe bad. Cringe derogatory.
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not Badbatch was great, guys. Watch Badbatch.
No crashes in Badbatch.
Hey, not yet.
No, not yet.
Well, not this past episode. Actually, I think they've definitely crashed. They crashed like 2 episodes ago. But you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say they did crash like another ship.
Yeah, another time. Yeah, I'm gonna look up what the next episode is called because decommissioned. That's. I don't like that.
Echo has to watch out.
Okay. Episode. Or no, wait, that's season 1. I just see. This is when I think Google infiltration. Also scary, but not as scary. Infiltration.
Yes.
Um,
Perfect.
Are they infiltrating? Are they infiltrating Mount Tantus? Was the other thing we didn't mention it this episode, but they like got her data pad back online, like got a bunch of schematics and stuff. So like, are they infiltrating Mount Tantus? Are they infiltrating another thing? Are they being infiltrated? Is Pabu being infiltrated? Oh gosh, that's scary. Lots of things, lots of different ways. And if I say multiple things, then I can claim I was right when one of them happens. Because that's how it works.
Yes, of course.
So what happened last week, I mentioned on my list of things that the return could be returning to a place, and they did. So.
Perfect.
Right, so if one of those things happens, I was right.
See.
One of those incredibly vague things that I said happened. I was right.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. That's how the world works.
I think it's time for plugs.
I think it's time for plugs. We've been yapping, as the kids say.
But a good yap, not a bad yap.
Good yapping. So, for Star Wars Geek Girl, you can go to starwarsgeekgirl.com. I write things on there. There's a monthly poll this month voting. Since it's Rebels Remembered Month, we're voting for our favorite Rebels finale. So, vote on there. And there's also like quizzes and stuff, and like all sorts of things on there. Twitter and Instagram are at SWGeekGirl, and Facebook page is Star Wars Geek Girl. For me personally, I'm on Instagram and TikTok at Spectre_5. I made a bunch of TikToks today. I'm excited. I've also been making a little Sabine doll, and I've been like documenting that on TikTok. I actually haven't posted those yet. They're on the drafts. I lied, but they will be on TikTok.
Yeah. I was like, I'm missing premium content right now.
Premium content. So that's Instagram, TikTok. I'm probably most active on TikTok, but I'm on the other ones too. And then on Twitter at Zoika. Also, because I just saw it on Twitter, they're doing a little picture book of Han and Leia's wedding on Endor. I just remember seeing that on Twitter, and it's very cute. Okay, those are my plugs.
For the Rogue Rebels, it's theroguerebels.com, Instagram and TikTok at the Rogue Rebels, Twitch at Rogue Rebels, podcast wherever you're listening to Star Wars Geek Girl, Facebook page the Rogue Rebels, Twitter at Rogue Rebels Fam. For Twitch, I don't know if my dad is still posting stuff on Twitch, but I know that he's posting a lot of stuff on TikTok about like
I saw some TikToks today.
Yeah, for his books and Fortnite. So that's that. For mine, I only have at Rogue Rebel Sabine, but I don't do much because I get lazy and procrastinate, and then I get anxious that it's even good enough. So I get worried.
Also, check out on my dad's podcast, The Inflatable Falcon. They did their Golden Tauntaun Awards yesterday, which is their little Oscars, but specifically for Star Wars. The Best Actress category was sponsored by Star Wars Geek Girl. And yeah, so you can watch those, see who won their categories. And just a fun little thing that they do. Captain Bombardier did win some categories, so.
Nice.
That guy. Remember him? Jack Black? A tier.
Nice.
So, yes. So please go follow us everywhere on social media. Don't follow me in real life, please. That's weird.
We will murder you.
Well, what? I don't know about that. Huh? I didn't say that.
Who said that?
Definitely not me. Because
I didn't say that.
But
I could. Maybe.
It depends.
Yeah.
I don't think I could murder. I don't think I can murder anyone.
Did I have coffee? Did I eat that day? You know?
Important factors.
Could I murder someone?
I don't think I could.
I
don't like that you're thinking about this. Okay.
Well, it depends on the person.
Okay.
What if they're really, really bad, you know? then like I'm not gonna seek him out, but like, depends. But anyway.
Okay. I think we're gonna end it here.
You have to do something like really bad. Like devastatingly bad. Like disgustingly bad. Towards me or someone I like. Love. Family.
Okay. I think we're gonna end it here for conviction.
But that just shows you not to follow any of us in real life.
Please follow us on social media though, just not in real life. And see all the amazing things that we make. So this went off the rails. This is a very classic Star Wars Geek Girl off the rails. We haven't done a truly off the rails. Oh my god, my voice is dying. It's time to go. It's time to go.
Perfect timing.
It's time to go. Alright. I was Zoe.
I was Lizzy.
May the force be with you, and goodbye.
Bye-bye.